Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Good. My name is Samor Legos. I'm the youth advisor at the Mid-Manhattan branch. This is my second year youth advising, and it's just been an amazing experience being able to work with the Wadley School, but also with our youth. And we have to be sure that as members of our communities, we are making sure that we are investing our time, just taking a couple of minutes to just speak to the child. Give them some of your insight, share some of your valuable knowledge to help them continue towards the path of progress. We have to be sure that during these times, education is put first so that we do not have more students behind bars. We have to be sure that we have more kids passing the bar. We have to be more clear. We have to be sure that we have people who will be able to be trained to become doctors, architects, and more.
A warm welcome from the NAACP, Roy Wilkins, Mid-Manhattan Branch. The Legal Redress Committee is pleased to present this continuation of a criminal justice forum featuring our foremost law enforcement agencies. Tonight's focus, women in law enforcement. We come to you from the Wadley Secondary School for the Performing and Visual Arts.
I will be introducing Wilbur L. Plummer. Wilbur L. Plummer completed his undergraduate studies at the University of Maryland, College Park campus in 1987 and entered on duty with the Drug Enforcement Administration in August of 1987 at the Washington Division Office. Shortly thereafter, Mr. Plummer transferred to the Baltimore District Office in December 1987, where he initiated the first cellular Title III intercept in Maryland. Mr. Plummer initiated several successful Title III investigations along with 2 Attorney General exempt money laundering operations. One of the operations was a storefront used car dealership. In January 1997, Mr. Plummer was promoted to group supervisor in the Baltimore District Office and assigned to a HIDTA task force group, and later served as group supervisor of a DEA enforcement group. In May 2000, Mr. Plummer transferred to DEA headquarters and served as an inspector in the Office of Inspections, where he conducted on-site internal audits and sensitive reviews of DEA's national and international operations. In December 2000, Mr. Plummer served as acting senator inspector with the Office of Inspections until his promotion to senior inspector in July 2001. In October 2002, Mr. Plummer was reassigned as the assistant special agent in charge Laredo District Office, where he directed the district and resident offices' resources towards identifying and dismantling major Mexican drug trafficking organizations operating along the southwest border. He was instrumental in getting the Title III operations up and running in the office under his command and establishing an Attorney General exempt money laundering operation. In November 2003, Mr. Plummer was promoted to the Senior Executive Service, where he currently serves as the Special Agent in charge of the New York Enforcement Division. Mr. Plummer currently has oversight of 33 enforcement groups and 418 positions in the Manhattan, Long Island, Albany, Syracuse, Rochester, Plattsburgh, and Buffalo offices. Mr. Plummer also has oversight of the diversion program throughout the state of New York. Mr. Plummer received his Juris Doctorate degree from the University of Maryland Law School in June 1999 and was admitted into the Maryland Bar in June 2000. He is a member of Fountain Baptist Church and a life member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. Mr. Plummer is a native of North Carolina and is married with 1 daughter.
Thank you. Right. The question she wanted me to answer was, how did you influence women coming into the DEA in the occupation? And one of the women I influenced, not coming into the occupation, but getting promoted, was Karen DeRota, sitting up here now. Mentored her and made sure that she come up to the rank. Matter of fact, it's amazing how funny how things go around in time, because when I was living in Maryland at the time, I was assigned to the Baltimore office, and Karen was in the in Quantico down at the academy. You come up to the house, she missed coming up to my house. I met her later, but she was supposed to come up to the house and eat, but she got hurt or something that happened down there. I think she was chasing after some other guy down at the academy, so she didn't come at the time. That's what happened. So then later on, here we are, we meet again up in New York. So, but I think like what everyone has been saying up in here, and also on the theme of the speech of the program today, it is a little bit more difficult for women in law enforcement at times, because it's a mostly male-dominated job. But I look at it as always has been the same, just as if most of the law enforcement agencies, also as minorities, we are usually the not the higher numbers as well. But I think if you work hard and you're determined, as most of these folks up here stated today, you can make it up there. And one of the examples, like Karen had said earlier today, our administrator, who's head of the Drug Enforcement Administration, is a female, African-American female, who rose up from the special agent position to head, and she's the first to have done that. So it's quite an accomplishment, and so it gives you, the other ladies in the agency, the hope that you also can do that. You know, in a male-dominated agency, that the women can run. Matter of fact, at one point we had both the administrator and our deputy administrator, which is both appointed by the president, were both females. And I know that may have set off some of the men in the agency, but those women moved the agency to another level and did a good job at it. Also, one of the things for the young folks that's up in here now, I know we're talking about women in the program, but also when you go off to college, mostly all these agencies that you see sitting out here, they have internships programs. We have it for a lot of some of the guys are from John Jay, women are from John Jay. We have about 20 internship positions. As long as you're in college and you have to maintain at least a 2.0 GPA, mostly all these agencies, they pay you. And, you know, I was naive because when I came on in DEA, I can tell you that the pay was a little bit, what they pay folks nowadays is totally different. It was $17,000 and some change when I came on. And it wasn't in 1950, it was in 1987. But the pay now is, you know, these folks are making well over $150,000, $170,000. So federal law enforcement is not a bad gig, but also the federal student internship is not a bad thing also, because, you know, as I found out, because there's a couple people we recruited to come on and be interns from John Jay, and they were also in the Explorer program. But we paid them $25,000 a year. And these are kids in school, which I was in the mistake of one of the guys thinking that they were making $8,000 or $9,000. When he told me $25,000, I know I took him to lunch and I was like, hey, you can eat your own self. But look into that wherever you go in college. There's going to be an office of DEA, FBI, Secret Service. Somebody's office is there, and they have a program where you can go in there. If you don't ask, you can go in there and also become an intern. You don't have to have a criminal justice background or being there. We take folks that have accounting, just like becoming agents. We have folks who are school teachers, used to be school teachers, a variety of professions. So don't box yourself in, and don't let anybody box yourself in saying that you can't get something. Get in one of these jobs because the pay is good, the internship is good, those things. The other thing, what I'm going to mention since I'm up here today and everyone in the community, next one of the things the Drug Enforcement Administration do, I know everybody know about marijuana, cocaine, and not know about it, but you hear about these drugs. The only thing we also enforce is prescription drugs. And prescription drugs fall on that. We're not the FDA. We don't sanction them, but also we enforce and regulate the prescription drug sale and dispensing of them. All doctors and pharmacies are registered with us. But one of the problems that you hear a lot of it in the news now, we have a tremendous problem with pharmaceutical drugs. And one of the things we have on April the 30th, there will be Abyssinian churches, one of the churches here I know in Harlem, a couple other churches, we have a prescription drug take-back day. It's nationwide. If you go to www.dea.gov and just punch in your zip code where you live, there's going to be a place somewhere near there where you can drop off any unused and unwanted prescription, because you'd be surprised at what the cases that we do now with prescription drugs, where kids are going into the medicine cabinet taking these things. Because if you think about it now, somebody may have gave you something for a surgery or something that you had, and you may have to get a pain pill for after surgery recovery, and you might have gotten 20, and you might have taken like 3 of them. You would not even know how many was in that bottle if somebody told you. And a lot of times kids go in and you'd be surprised what these young folks know from the internet, and what the conversation that goes on in school. You may not know about it, but what they know about it, and then what kids and what adults, how much these little pills sell for on the street. People are paying $50, $75 for a little pill. So just be very cognizant of that, because I think a lot of people, especially the adults, the older adults, you don't understand about what goes on the internet and what happens. Because a lot of times we do a lot of rings that are just nothing but pharmaceutical. People are selling and distributing pharmaceuticals. That's a big business now. And also these other drugs that come along, stuff they call bath salt, which is becoming phenomenal now, which you may not know about it, but your kids will know about it. It's not the little bath salt you put in a tub. It's something else that you take and people sniff it and they become leaping out of a window or doing something. They don't know the effects of it, but these kids are using these things. It's just a simple pill that you think it is, but you'd be surprised at the amount of cases, especially we have in Long Island, upstate, and some of the areas here in the city. It's just nothing but pharmaceuticals. And a lot of the wiretaps that we go on, when you're listening to it, when these guys bring tapes, myself and Bridget Brennan was talking about a case earlier today, and we were just talking about the conversation on there, and a lot of it involved kids, students, high schoolers, and what they were doing was texting out when they were stealing these pills, getting these pills, and then sending them out. These kids were all texting. These kids were all paying like $45, $50 for a pill. And they was getting it from their grandparents or whoever. But they was using them, and then people were getting hooked on it. You'd be surprised at how many kids are doing this now. And we have to become more aware of it and what our children are doing. So that's one of the things I want to just make sure everybody know about on April 30th. If you look, it's in a lot of the churches, a lot of the firehouses, and a lot of the police stations up here in Harlem and other areas throughout the city. We'll be doing that with us from like 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, where you can have anything in your medicine cabinet you have. You can bring it, nobody's looking at what it is. You just take it in there, throw it in a box, and be done with it. We're not asking you to bring weapons or that other thing. You can take that to the NYPD. But pills and all that other stuff, take it out your medicine cabinet. You're not using it. We all do it. We all get stuff, and we may take 5 or 6 of them, and then we forget about it. Just keep that out your cabinet, so we can try to keep our kids safe. And then you guys don't forget about wherever you go off to college at. Think about one of these. Just look at Google the thing on the computer. Find out what agency is near your school. Go in and attempt to try to get yourself one of these internships. And just keep that little booklet of our names and things like that. Google us, find out where we are. If you're having a problem with some idiot in that office saying, oh, we don't have anything or something like that problem, they're saving it for their own little person. Call one of us, or we can kind of have pressure on folks sometimes to try to get you guys in one of those things. Just get in one of those positions, okay? All right, thanks.
Captain Lola Obi attended and graduated high school in Nigeria, West Africa. She attended City College of New York, where she received a bachelor's degree in computer science and a master's degree in public administration from Marist College, Poughkeepsie, New York. Captain OB started her career as a police cadet in New York City Police Department in April 1992 and was assigned to the 24th Precinct located in the Upper West Side of Manhattan. She joined the department as a police recruit in February 1994, performing patrol duties. She was promoted to the rank of sergeant in December 2000 and was assigned to the 19th Precinct on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. By June 2005, she became a lieutenant assigned to the 50th Precinct in the Riverdale section of the Bronx, in charge of the Daytime platoon. She was promoted to her current rank of captain in September 2008 and was the executive officer in the 25th and 19th precincts respectively. Currently, Captain OB is assigned to the 34th precinct in the Washington Heights area as the executive officer. And now I present to you Ms. Lola Review.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me here. My background is so different from most people on this panel. I came to the U.S. in 1989. And right away, my greatest concern was the cold. I came in March of '89. And I always used to say, dear God, there's a sun up there, yet it's so cold. And that was just one concern that I have. I hate winter till today, I tell you that, because I'm from Nigeria. It's hot all year round. So thanks for having me here. Someone just talked about internships. That's how I got into the police department. I went to City College of New York right here. I came in March, boom. In the fall of that year, I wanted to go to college. I came here to go to college. So I went to City College, and the police department has a program called the Police Cadet Corps. That's how I got in. 89 in college, 92 I joined the Police Cadet Corps. I was assigned to the 24th Precinct. It's a great program, doesn't pay too much. I don't know what they pay now. At the time, maybe I made $8 or $9 an hour, but worked 20 hours a week. But you know what? I didn't grow up saying I wanted to be a police officer. The police that we had in Lagos, that's where I grew up, were not the way we know the police in America. It's a totally different type of policing, so to speak. Even when I go back as an adult, as a matter of fact, I'm traveling to Lagos next Wednesday, I'm petrified. Because these guys carry guns bigger guns that we carry here in New York. So it's a different deal when you go to Africa with police in there. But coming to the U.S., the Police Cadet Corps, that's how I got in. Like I said, I didn't grow up saying I wanted to be police. No one in my family is a member of the police force. For us in Lagos, it's all about being doctors and lawyers, and everybody wants to be on top of the game. But being police is not one of the things that I aspire to be. So the Police Cadet Corps was interesting, and I thank God for the program, I tell you, because it was an eye-opener. You're kind of playing, little cop when you get to the precinct. It gives you a good insight of what the police department itself is like. They pay for college. I think that's really a great attraction for those of you who are here. They pay for college. I was in my second year when I joined. They pay for 2 years. You come on for 2 years. Of course, if you choose not to join the police department, you pay the money back, and I didn't have that kind of money to pay back. So, but I liked it. It was a job, and I had it, and I really, really liked it. Very competitive. The Police Cadet Corps is great. They teach you that you're the brightest of the brightest. At the time I came on, not very friendly, because they tell you you're going to be chiefs on this job and this and that. But we had great instructors. Till today, I still see some of them. And the idea is just to push and push hard. Work, and you work super hard. And that's just been my story. And for those of you going on to college, and wanting to come into the NYPD. The Police Cadet Corps is a great, great, great program. I love the program. I have great friends that I'm still in touch with today. So that is one way certainly to get into the police department if you're thinking of a law enforcement background, okay? So I wish you well. Thank you for having me here, and we'll answer some questions.
Hello, I'm going to introduce Deputy Inspector Rodney Harrison. Deputy Inspector Rodney Harrison was born in Jamaica, New York, and graduated from Springfield College in Massachusetts, in 1992 with a BS degree in physical education. He began his career with the NYPD in June of 1992. He is currently the commanding officer of the 28th Precinct and successfully served in his capacity for 2 years. In the beginning in his career, he set his mark for outstanding policing, becoming PBA Cop of the Month in 1995. He also earned the Combat Cross in 2002 for his bravery in a shooting with a dangerous drug dealers during a buy and bus operation in the 79 precinct that spun into an exchange of gunfire, yielding in the successful arrest of the perpetrator. Deputy Inspector Harrison, to his current day and time, still managed to set the bar at an all-time high by doing what he loves most, and that's patrolling the streets. Deputy Inspector Harrison served relentlessly 19 years under the a species of NYPD, making an everlasting impression of the lives of members of the service, both uniform and civilians, of which he encounters in his journey throughout these prior commands.
His journey began in the 1114th precinct as a police officer, worked in Brooklyn, narcotics as a detective, 71st Squad as a detective, 73rd Precinct as a sergeant and a squad sergeant, 79th Precinct as a lieutenant, 47th Precinct as a captain, executive officer, 28th Precinct as a captain, executive officer, and presently a deputy inspector. At the 28th Precinct, Deputy Inspector Harrison also takes pride in being the overseers and active member of Cops vs. Kids program, which is a basketball tournament held regularly throughout different communities. Having such a success with this program, earning positive feedback from the community, and working in close license with the PAL Center, has given birth to yet a new program called the Basketball Clinic, held every Monday for kids of ages 7 through 12 that enable kids to develop and enhance their skills in areas needed to perform exceptionally well on the court. Deputy Inspector Harrison has found it's essentially important to reach the lives of others, fostering in a new and positive outlook for our youths of today in the way in which they view other authority. Deputy Inspector Harrison is currently married to his wife, Sergeant Laparina Harrison, whom he met in the academy in 1992. They are now the proud parents of 3 daughters. They are having 19 years in the NYPD, DI, and SGT. Harrison are successfully in their careers, but the two take pride in their roles of being basketball mom and basketball dad. They can often be seen in their spare time coaching their 3 daughters, who vigorously play in a variety of sports, attracting the attention of news media in their hometown and talent scouts abroad.
Good evening. Thank you very much for that introduction. I must be special than everybody else because I had 2 people I talked about. So please stop hating me my panelists up here today. Once again, my name is Rodney Harrison. I want to thank the Mid-Manhattan NAACP group, as well as the students from Watley, as well as you today, for inviting myself here today. This is right up in regards to talking to the youth, because everybody here is well aware the youth is our future. Just a couple of announcements. I am the commanding officer of 28th Precinct, where you're located right now. The confines of 28th Precinct is from 110th to 127th, from 5th Avenue up to Morningside, Manhattan. So one of the things that I'd like to promote is an open invite for our community council meetings. Community council meetings are very, very informative. If you have any types of business, or you reside inside the confines of that area, I think it's important that you come to the meeting so you can get a little bit more knowledge of what may be going on within your community. The meetings are the second Wednesday of each month, 6:30 p.m. at the 20th Precinct, located at 123rd and 8th Avenue. The second announcement I would like to make is I am putting a gang forum together or territorial crew formed together April 28th, you'll write this down, April 28th, 6:30 at the PEL. What we're trying to do is help you identify if you feel that your kid may be at risk in regards to maybe being recruited by some of these territorial crews or some of these gang members, and some of the resources that we have that you may not be aware of that you could get some of your children involved in. And once again, we're going to have some community-based or organizations there and some other very, very prominent people there to come and talk. So I invite everybody to come to that meeting. Just real quickly, I think I just want to talk about women in policing. My wife is a sergeant, soon to be a lieutenant on the police department. So she's the commanding officer of screening and testing for the New York City Police Department. So in layman terms, people that are coming onto the job have to go through her. And all she does on a daily basis is complains that we do not have enough female minorities trying to become police officers. And the truth of the matter is, I beg of you, I ask of you, if you can, reconsider becoming a police officer, because we need for you to police our streets. A lot of times, unfortunately, the police department is in a situation of dire straits where we have to get people from outside the communities to come and patrol our streets. We need people within the inner city to patrol the streets because we can relate a little bit better. So it's important, if I could ask everybody to look into potentially becoming a police officer, because the truth of the matter is there's a little bit of a barrier or a wall, or a stigma, I should say, saying that women cannot be police, or you'll be, how can you lock somebody up, or how can you control a violent situation. That's not the case. You'd be surprised how most of the times this is your best weapon, is your brain, and not what you have in your gun belt. So we need more minority educated women, and I see the panel here today of the students from Watley. You seem like you're all headed in the right direction. I strongly would like to invite you to come to the precinct, come talk to me. If you have friends that are maybe considering about it, I invite them as well, so I can give you the ideas about how to come up police officer, certain methods that you may need, and anything else to go ahead with that plan. But I appreciate your time. Thank you very much, and everybody enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Good afternoon once again. Okay, well, I'll be introducing Deputy Sherry Robinson. Hi. Ms. Sherry Robinson, a deputy with the U.S. Marshal Service, started her career in June 2005. As a member of the law enforcement entirety, Deputy Robinson is a criminal investigator assigned to the Protective Intelligence Unit as a threat investigator. Deputy Robinson assists the Judicial Securities, fugitive investigations, justice prisoners, and alien transportation systems, prisoners, witness securities, and other special missions. Her duties include, but are not limited to, protecting federal judicial officials, judges, attorneys, and jurors. This is the core mission for the U.S. Marshals. Deputy Robinson is responsible for managing and disposing of seized, forfeited properties acquired by criminals through legal activities. She ensures the safety of witnesses who risk their lives testifying for the government in cases involving organized crime and other significant criminal activities. The U.S. Marshals Services is the government's primarily agencies for conducting fugitive investigations. The Marshals currently leads 75 district fugitives task force and 7 regional fugitive task force dedicated to investigating violent crime and locating and apprehended wanted criminals. The U.S. Marshal Service has developed close working relationships with the other law enforcement agencies on fugitive matters and provide assistance